Representative Tulsi Gabbard of Hawaii says that she was disinvited to the DNC debates for calling for more debates. All right. So Ms. Gabbard, who was, as I said, the representative from Hawaii, had recently called for more debates, and she had confirmed yesterday that her chief of staff had received a message from the chief of staff to Representative Debbie Wasserman Schultz, the chairwoman of the DNC, about her attendance at the debate. Now, I'm going to tell you what that's about in a bit, but earlier during the week, she had went on to MSNBC to actually call for more debates. Let's take a look at that.
I'm just curious, I know you're neutral in this contest, but do you think it would be good for the Democratic Party if Joe Biden got in this race and ran?
I think the more people we have stepping forward to generate more debate, to bring more ideas to our democracy and our Democratic presidential primaries, the better. On that note, I've also been calling for more debates sponsored by the DNC. Right now, as you know, the DNC is only allowed for 6 sanctioned debates and an exclusivity clause that says if any candidate participates in another debate that's not sanctioned by the DNC, then you're automatically from joining the DNC sanctioned
I don't mean to interrupt.
All right, so if you don't take part in one of the sanctioned debates, if you go to an unsanctioned debate, you're automatically, you can't go to any of the regular debates, is what she was trying to say. Now, a person close to the committee who asked for anonymity to discuss internal discussions insisted, however, that no, Ms. Gabbard wasn't disinvited. He said, according to this anonymous person, an aide to Ms. Wasserman Schultz expressed a desire to keep the focus on the candidates as the debates approached, rather than on a distraction that could divide the party, and suggested that if Ms. Gabbard could not do that, she should consider going. She should reconsider going. Now, for me, I gotta ask, how is wanting more debates a distraction? How is it dividing the party? That makes no sense. How is she dividing the party? By asking for more debates, and she's not the only one who's been asking for more debates. There have actually been a lot of people calling for more debates. Now, Holly Schulman, who is a spokesman for the DNC, said that the desire was to allow the Democrats to present a clear contrast to the Republicans. But see, there is a contrast. They're running a clown car, and they don't actually talk about the issues. Remember, there are 17 different, well, I think they're down to what, 15 now? They started out with 17 people running on the Republican side, all trying to share the same debate stage. We don't have that issue here. And that's just one of the many distinctions. As I said, the other distinction is that most of the Republicans are fucking nuts. Anyway. Now, the focus on the debate in Nevada, this is Holly Schulman, as well as the other debates and forums in the coming weeks, should be on the candidates who will take the stage and their vision to move America forward. All that was asked of Ms. Gabbard's staff was to prioritize our candidates in this important opportunity they have to introduce themselves to the American people. The Democratic Party is a big tent party, and we embrace the diversity of opinions and ideas that come from our members. Well, okay, well, if you want to share the candidates' views and visions for America, wouldn't it make more sense to have more debates? Or at least to remove the exclusivity clause that they have put in place. Remember, if you don't go, or if you do go to the unsanctioned debates, you can't go to the normal debates. Well, that's not right. According to the New York Times, the number of sanctioned debates is the same as in 2008, but they didn't have that clause there, which means there were actually many more debates in many other places. And a lot of the candidates took advantage of that to get their message out. Also, that's free media. That's good for exposure. Now, this time, as I said, the candidates would be excluded if they didn't actually just stick to the main debates. Now, the person close to the committee, this anonymous person, said she was not uninvited. The DNC team wanted the first debate to have all the focus on the candidates. Gabbard's people were told that they couldn't commit to that since Tulsi was trying to publicly divide the DNC leadership last week, then she should not consider coming. Now, what's funny about this is that after news of this came out, Bernie Sanders' campaign reached out and said, hey, you want to go to the debate? We got tickets for you. You can come with us. Oh, I love that. Oh, I love that. So, excellent work with the Sanders campaign. Now, this person also added the fact that she is still making this about her and not our great candidates by talking to the New York Times says something unfortunate. No, it says something unfortunate when the simple act for calling for debates and more exposure for the candidates, by the way, and more dialogue is considered divisive. Once again, I have to ask, how is she dividing the party? How? By calling for more debate and more discussion? In an election year, isn't that a good thing? In a time where you're trying to sell your ideas to the American public, and where debates are free media, you're saying that that's a bad thing? That calling for more of that free media exposure, that's a bad thing. I don't get it. I don't get it. And Miss Gabbard, she's got this right. She says that the only issue raised here has been the fact that I publicly disagreed with Debbie Wasserman Schultz. Now, this is personal. Gabbard said, this isn't about only one person. It's about how the Democratic Party should be representing democratic values, allowing for free speech and open debate within our party, and for more transparency in debates for our presidential candidates. She also added, and all of our candidates agree with my position. So why then is the DNC so adamant about sticking to that position and limiting those debates? Why? I mean, as I mentioned before, we have the same number of sanctioned debates as before. But why the new rule? Why the new rule against unsanctioned debates? If another place wants to host a debate, an independent entity, why wouldn't they allow them to do that, to take advantage of that? It seems like the parties want to control this. They want to control it all. Now, as for the theory, and I've seen this floated around, that this is all an attempt to help Hillary Clinton, right? Well, Clinton's camp, back in August, did say that, hey, look, if there are more debates, yeah, of course. If there are more debates, then I'd gladly be in the debates. I love debating. I look forward to debating. I like tacos. Okay. But she hasn't also joined the call for more debates. Now, she said that's up to them. They made their decision, but I have made it clear that if they want to do more, I'm happy to do them. That's Hillary Clinton on the debates. Now, for me, this seems like classic Clinton, right? Kind of non-committal. Like, I mean, yeah, it'd be all right, but that's not really my decision. I'm not going to call on them to do anything. You know, it seems like classic non-committal Clinton when it comes to important issues. That is, of course, until the polling says overwhelmingly that the American people are in favor of it. Guaranteed that if a majority of Democrats say in recent polls, right, if a new poll comes out saying like 89% of Democrats want more debates, I can almost guarantee that Clinton will come out and say, I will join the call for more debates. That's kind of how this works. She's playing politics. But regardless of who it benefits, and this is my personal opinion, there shouldn't be a limit on debates, especially when it comes to such an important election. Now, they'll say, oh, historic election, right? Most important election. Well, you'll always hear a lot of people say that. No, this is a really important election. Honestly, it is. I mean, there are Supreme Court justices that are going to need to be replaced. There's a good chance that whoever becomes the next president has to deal with that. And you certainly don't want President Trump deciding who gets on the Supreme Court. Ooh, ridiculous. It would be awful. Now, not only that, but I think that more debates, as I had mentioned, more debates, more coverage. You want more coverage, especially now that we've already had the media dominated by the Republican narrative. So far, they've been able to set the tone of the race in the general by having their debates first, and yet no Democratic debates. They've broken ratings records on CNN and Fox for their debates. They've already set that tone. Democrats kind of lose out on that. We lose the message. Now, as far as who you favor, regardless of who you favor, whether it be, Bernie Sanders or Hillary Clinton or Martin O'Malley, Lincoln Chafee, doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. When you have more debates and more coverage on important issues and a way to educate voters on what we want to do, on what they want to do, their specific policies or progressive policies in general, and how they're going to solve the problems that are facing America, well, I think once you have that, America wins. Everybody wins. More debates. Let's have them.